I don't know where my switch is. You know, don't do this unless you don't mind burning your house down. Well, I went to use my bandsaw today and it's not working. Acts like it's not getting any power, so I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's going on with it. If you want to see how I made this stand, I got a video on that. You can check it out. I'll leave a link down below. Let me just test it real quick. Make sure that taking it off the stand didn't fix it. You know how this happens. You go to fix something and then all of a sudden it's working. Nah. It's plugged in now. And nothing. Unplugged. I've already checked the brushes, and it's not that. The brushes are basically brand new. I suspect that it's the switch, the brains of the operation. So that's the first thing I'm going to check. You got to get those top ones out too. I'm going to take the blade off just for safety's sake. I don't really need to go to the ER today. What it started doing was it was running, and then all of a sudden it started oscillating, and then it just kind of died. And what I normally do is I just put a clamp on this trigger, and I have a feeling it's probably the trigger. So let me get my probes and we'll find out. Alright guys, so I moved on a little bit. I was getting some weird readings and I wasn't quite sure how this switch worked with the speed controller here. It's got a variable switch as well as a speed controller. And I wasn't sure how the power was supposed to come in and out of here. So basically what I did was I made it easy on myself, well, sort of easy on myself. I took the switch off, and you can do that. It's got little clips here. See these little clips you can put a screwdriver into. You twist that and the wire just pops out. And there's one wire on the back as well that you got to use like a little paper clip or a little punch, and that wire come out. So I got the switch out of the equation. Okay, so then I'm dealing with the speed controller. So I hooked my power up as it would come through directly into the speed controller, and that's basically, I had power going in one side and my neutral coming back out the other side. Complete the circuit. That should go through the machine, and then the rheostat speed controller should control the speed. Didn't work. So now I'm like, oh, this is not good. So I start thinking the motor, but I also was thinking about this thing. Now, Milwaukee calls this a heat sink. I think there's some computer crap in there. I think there's a transistor or something in there. And that is on a heat sink. So I don't know what this is exactly. I don't know if it's some sort of monitoring system or whatever. So I got it anyway. Anyway, to make a long story short, I got on and looked at some wiring diagrams, and the next version of this saw didn't have this. At least it didn't show in the wiring diagram. So of course, you know, my next thought is get rid of this. So we get rid of that. And then I wire directly up from a plug into the motor. Okay? And I got my little multimeter here to, just because I want to make sure that I am getting power there. So, it's not plugged in right now. We're going to try it. This is directly from the plug directly into the motor. Alright, so power in, neutral out, and just some sensing wires for the multimeter. And I'm going to plug it in straight in. See what happens. Alright, here we go. Okay, I saw a spark there. I'm probably just a connection problem. Let's try it again. Okay, so there is nothing wrong with the motor. So, it must be in here. In this speed controller thing. That's my guess. Either in the speed controller itself, which is a little dial, or in whatever this thing is. So what I'm going to try next is, and I don't recommend this, but what I'm going to try, and don't do this, you know, don't do this unless you don't mind burning your house down. This is totally up to you. This is not how you should do it. What you should do is order a new one of these. I'm going to try to wire the switch back up. However, I don't know if that's going to work. And there's two reasons for that. The first is I was messing with the switch. I actually took the switch apart to look inside, and it doesn't quite feel the same as it did before I took it apart. The other reason I don't know if it's going to work is because there was something in the wiring diagram about there being a high-low and a high side and a low side, and I have a feeling that that's some way controlled by what's ever in here. I'm not positive about that, but I'm guessing. So I'm going to try to just wire the switch directly, and if not, I'll just order another one of these. These are like 20 bucks. For this saw, I'll put it back on. I do want to use this saw. If I was just using this saw on the stand, I wouldn't care. I would just wire this thing up directly, put an outside toggle switch on it, and be done with it. However, I don't only use this saw on the stand, so I would like to have the trigger, and I would like to have speed control. I'm not gonna bother showing you me putting this back together because it's not that interesting, and I'm gonna probably have to fiddle with it for a while. So let me put it back together and see what happens. Alright guys, I couldn't make the switch work. Like I said, I did take it apart, so I may have messed up something inside, or it just beat me and I don't understand how it works. I was trying to kind of, you know, use the ohm meter to lay it out, and it's probably got something to do. It's probably not just a straight off and on switch. It's probably sending a signal to this thing and sending a signal to this thing and whatever. So for the time being, I'm going to order a new switch, and I'm going to order another one of these. And again, only because I do use this not on the stand. For the time being, I just got it wired together. was nuts. I'm going to put it back on the stand and use it until I get my other parts in. Again, if you haven't seen my video on this stand, there is a video I have where I show all the different particulars of it. Unfortunately, I didn't get a video of me actually making it, but I do have a video of the particulars of it. I'm going to put the cord back here like I normally have it, so it's out of the way. And you know, I've got some wires hanging out back here. But in the meantime, I'll just use it. I always have it on a switch anyway, just so I can quick turn it off, and I usually have the trigger kind of depressed. So I'll just use it like that until I get the parts. You know, which means that it'll probably be like this for the next 12 or 15 videos. You know, if you have one of these, it's probably the switch or that what is it, confuser box, or the rotary switch. However, you know, when I was taking it apart, it looked like the switch was good, and it looked like I was getting power in and out of it, but it's a confusing switch because it's, you know, it's somehow sending signals to this thing. So anyway, so once again, guys, thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, please subscribe and hit the notification button down there below so you know when I upload a video. And I hope this video helps somebody. So we'll see you next time.